Right, we're starting our unit on percent, and percent simply means per hundred. Per 100%. And so 6%, or as a ratio out of 100, would be 6% means 6 per 100, or 6 out of 100. So here's 1. This rectangle, this square represents 1. And I cut it into 100 pieces. So each little teeny square inside is 1%, 1 out of 100. If I have 6 hundredths, this is how much I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, that's correct. 6 hundredths right here. That's 6% or 6 hundredths. If this is 1, I gave you 6% of, or if it was like a piece of cake or something, a square cake, and I gave you 6% of it, this is the portion I would have given you. And that's the same as 6 out of 100, the ratio. So for every 100 I get, you get 6, or 6 hundredths, the fraction, 6 hundredths. Or we could think of it as a decimal, 0 tenths, 6 hundredths. Let's look at one more before we go on. Let's think about 25%. That would be 25 out of 100. Out of 100, or 25 hundredths, or 0.25. This is tenths, hundredths, 25 hundredths. And I could draw it as, now this whole row is worth 10, so that's a tenth. If I wanted to think of that, that's the 1/10 to 10th, so that's 20 hundredths so far. That would be 0.20. Here's my 2 here, 2 tenths. And these could be, think of a tenths, because it takes 10 of these rods to make one whole flat piece here. And then, but I have 5 more, 25 hundredths. Okay. So right here, this is 25 hundredths. So, or 2 tenths and 5 hundredths. Each of these is a tenth. This is, because this is 10 hundredths, we call it a tenth. So this would be 25 hundredths. Okay, so let's look at some of our homework. And this is a grid of 100 pieces. This square is 1. So how much of it is shaded in? So each long piece or rod is worth 10, 20. So I'm at 20% so far. And this is 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 18. So far I have 38, and I have 6 more. So 38 plus 6 more. So that means 44 hundredths, or percent. So this shaded part represents 44%. Each one is 1 per 100. This is 44 per 100, or 44%. Okay. Now they want us to write each percent as a fraction in its simplest form. So we have 46%. That's the same as 46 hundredths. Now can I simplify? They're both even, so they're both divisible by 2. So I can divide. 46 divided by 2 is 23. 100 divided by 2 is 50. And can I simplify it anymore? No, I can't. So 46 simplified, and as a fraction, its simplest term is 23 fiftieths. Let's do 45%. 45% means per 100. And can I simplify this? Well, this 5 and 0 means they're both divisible by 5. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 100 divided by 5 is 20. 9 times 5 is 45. 20 times 5 is 100. And I can't simplify it anymore, so this one is 9 20ths. In simplest forms, or 45%. Okay. Now they want us to write each percent as a decimal, 33 hundredths. So just by saying it, I know this is, I have 3/10 and 300ths, 33 hundredths. But a little trick is to move the decimal, they say, 2 to the left. And the decimal is, if it's not shown right here, this would be past the smallest denomination of percent so far. 1, 2. 1, 2. 33%. So that is essentially 33 hundredths. And let me just kind of color this in a little bit. So 33% looks like this. This is 10, 20, 33. So 33% of this is shaded in. Let's look at a harder one though. 4.7%. So there, the textbook says move it 2 to the left. 1, I have to add a 0. 2, let me do that again. 4.7%. You move it 2 to the left. 1, you have to add a 0. 2, so it's 0.047. And this is tenths, hundredths, thousandths, so it's 47 thousandths. Now here's what that looks like. So it's 4% and then 7/10 of a percent. So let's color in 4. 1. Let me get a little thicker pen here. This would be 4. Okay, and then it would be 7/10 of a percent. So 5/10 of a percent would be half. So it'd be just a little teeny bit more. I think I need a thinner pen here. A little teeny more than a half of one of these squares. So that would look like this. So it's a part of one of these squares inside. So this would be 4.7% or 4 7/10 of a percent. Notice the 7/10 is this amount right here. Or you could just think of it as moving it 2 to the left. 1, 2, or 47 thousandths. Let's look at this one. 13 2/10 of a percent. That's a real small number. So we have one whole. This would be 10. Make it a little thicker for this. 10. And then 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And then 2/10 of a percent. So that's less than half. 5/10 would be about half. So here would be 2/10. Would be like this little amount here. Little teeny bit. Maybe a quicker way. Kind of nice to see it. Move it the decimal 2 to the left. 1, 2. So it would be 0 and 132 thousandths. Let me show that again. 13.2. That's the same. Moving it 1, 2, 132, and this is the thousandths place. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Okay. We'll do one more. We have 93 1/100th of a percent. Okay, so let me color in. This would be 10, 20, 30, all the way to the 9. So I got to shade all this in here. Whoops, not doing a very good job here. Erase. Here. Okay, so all this is shaded in. All the way to here. And so this 1/100th of a percent, 93%, 93 1/100th of a percent. That means what I have to do, now I need something really small. If I have to cut this square into 100 pieces, so I have a little teeny slither of it. 100 pieces. So this is 93 1/100th percent. To write that as a decimal, you just move the decimal 2 places to the left. So 93 1/100th of a percent is 0.9301. So that's tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10 thousandths. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10 thousandths. So it's 9,301 10,000s. Okay? So good luck, and that's our introduction to percent. We're going to be doing a whole lot more with this soon. The secret word is taxes, because you have to pay a percent of what you earn in taxes. That's the secret word, taxes.